about parenting too is that like you can't. It's not no one size fit all type ordeal. Like the way that you can handle one kid, you can't handle the other kid that way. You
Yeah,
gotta
they
that
two
stuff
different.
fluctuated. They're two different people, so you gotta just like go with the emotions.
Hey y'all, I'm Kiki Hunter.
What's good, people? I'm Mark Hunter.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
the
the
Hunt
Hunt
Life
Life
Podcast.
Podcast.
We created this podcast to give a real view of life as millennials navigating the world.
Real life discussions about the struggles our generation go through from family, love, and everyday life.
What's good, people? Hunt here. Another episode, and she come on giggling.
Hey y'all, I'm Kiki.
Welcome to the Hunt Life Podcast. This is episode 25.
25. Whole
Yeah,
quarter.
James Harden.
Last time you did that, I goes well.
What you mean? The episode went pretty well. I mean, we had no. Wait, did we have? That was the episode we had. Oh shit! Dang. Then I said James Harden, and that nigga fumbled in the playoffs. I mean, that dude fumbled in the playoffs. But nah, episode 25. We here live once again. Got some stuff to talk about. Parenting, the things that you didn't expect when you became a parent, or the things that we didn't expect. Hell, stuff that you don't, the stuff that people don't tell you when it comes to parenting. But
Yep, because Mother's Day
it's
is
this,
here.
yeah, it's about to be Mother's Day,
So,
Father's Day coming up too.
yep.
But we
So
gonna,
why not? I'm trying to lighten up. That's why I came on here laughing, y'all, because trying to lighten up my mood. I saw something that was very upsetting, but I'll tell you about it later.
I'm about to say you want to say that for later.
Yep.
Okay. So, what's something that you learned from this past week? She don't know.
I don't know why I never had that question together.
And it's been like what, maybe a month now?
I just never expected. I'm like, what's something I learned? I'm like, ooh,
That's something I
that's
learned
sad.
this past week.
But
You never know what you never expect stuff. Like you never know what's gonna happen. So you just gotta like deal with the cards that's handed to you. Cause you just never know. You might have some highs, you might have some lows, but you never know. Cause it's not really up in your the ball's not in your court when it comes to knowing what's your next move. You can try to figure out your next move and you can make plans for it, but it's not really in your court. It's kind of sort of on God's time. So it's like you got to wrap your mind around that. Like we do not dictate our next moves.
that's true.
So that's
That's true.
something that ain't something I learned. That's just something that randomly popped to me.
Mm.
I feel like that I should say that.
Oh, okay. I know that's right. That's a good word.
Yeah, because that goes with raising kids too.
No, it is. I think of one thing that I've learned this week is that sometimes we just don't always have it together, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay.
Yeah.
You can't stress yourself out about it. I mean, you can. You're going to stress yourself out about it, but you shouldn't let it consume to the point. You shouldn't stress out to the point that it consumes.
Yeah, this lady said that on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Really?
Yeah, she was saying that how like if you continue to stress on something, like you continue to like just continue to like build up and always talk about it
Yeah.
and things like that, then it becomes way more stressful than what is really going on.
I can believe it.
Because like yeah, you're harping on it.
Yeah.
So that's the part that kind of sort of makes you stay down with it because you're just sitting there harping on it.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta learn like to just let it go. Like it just don't be what it is.
Yeah.
But like have that balance. Like care, but know when you gotta let it go and just come back. Like
True.
yeah.
So I mean, one thing that I guess we gonna go and get into this. Like, what I didn't expect about parenting was like the kind of parent I was gonna be. I already knew I was gonna be the one that was I'm gonna lecture your ass. I already knew that.
Oh, baby, will he?
I'm a lecturer type parent. Now, will I get
Ooh.
on your Would I get up on you if you're doing bad? Yes. Would I let some stuff slide? Yes. I pick and choose my battles because everything is not important. I do
Really?
pick and choose my battles.
Mark, you're a fusser.
Now I'm gonna fuss about it, but I pick and choose on which battles is
Baby, you
worth
fuss. Them
going
kids be like,
in on.
they like this point they expect you to fuss whole. Like everybody in the
Yeah.
house expect you to just you be like, what? Like let it go.
Yeah. So when I don't fuss, now they confused. That's the thing. Never let them know your next move. If I don't fuss at him about some stuff, he really be like, bro, I must have really messed up then, cause he ain't even got nothing to say about it. Like the toddler, he don't care. Like
Man, he's still choosing whole violence. Like
yeah,
he
his
brings
violence
the
has ramped it up.
violence.
So like I pick and choose my battles with him, cause he's still gonna fight. But like yeah,
He's
I
going
pick
to
and
fight.
choose it.
Like he bring the fight. He feel like if you mad enough, he gon' fuck it. He just be like, forget it. Like
Hmm.
let's do it then. Like he get the tears going.
And
He get
everything,
that
the
out the way.
face. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, his emotion games is A1.
yeah,
The thing about parenting too is that like you can't, it's not no one size fit all type ordeal. Like the way that you can handle one kid, you can't handle the other kid that way. You
yeah.
gotta,
They
that
two
stuff
different.
fluctuated. They're two different people, so you gotta just like go with the emotions.
Yeah,
I think that's where a bunch of like parents like drop the ball at because they want to like raise all their kids the same way, and it's like you
yeah.
can't
You
because
can, cause
everybody's different. It's called personalities. Everybody got different personalities. Everybody got different temperaments.
yeah,
So it's
baby, the
like you gotta
temperament,
go
child.
with the flow with each of the kids.
Yeah, because I think that's something I always wanted to parents in like knowing though. Not like I always knew I never wanted to treat my kids the same because they're different.
Hmm.
So that was like one of like my parenting rules, like for myself before I became a parent. Because I always had an idea of what kind of like mom I would be before I had kids.
Yeah.
So I think the mom I expected to be is not necessarily the mom that I am, but I'm not far off. It's like certain things are different. Like I was like, I'm never gonna hit my kids, and baby, I will pop you. It's my last resort when I pop. If I pop you, that means you really
You
like
really did
messed
something.
up.
That's what
Cause
you
I
getting popped
don't.
for.
Yeah. But will I snatch you though? I'm a snatching mama. I'll snatch you real fast. Like I won't hit you, but I'll make you think I did. Like that's how fast, and I'll do it anywhere. My kids, it doesn't. Wherever you act up, is where you get snatched up. Like I'm like act up, you can get snatched up. That is me.
That's a mama though. That
Like
seems like
I'm
that's a mama
gone
thing.
real fast. That I am. I didn't think I was gonna be that mom though. I don't know what type of kids I thought I was gonna have, but I just
Hmm.
didn't think I would be like quick with it. Like I didn't think that would be me, but it is. I didn't plan for that part.
I
But
know I didn't want to be the cool dad, but I'm kind of sort of am the cool dad.
hmm,
I ain't like going to this whole thing like, you know what, I'm finna be the cool dad. Hell nah. I'm finna be on your ass so you can know like the do's and don'ts and the stuff that you need to do so you can survive. But it's like
you the
being a
soft
father for 10
one.
years, it's like, you know,
You the one
like
that know if I say no, that you gonna say yes.
to some things. I don't say yes to everything, but I say, you know, I say yes to some
Yeah, you say
things.
you say no to the random stuff. I be confused when you say no. I'm like, what you
Yeah,
mean
because
no?
if it's not that important, then like, yeah, then you can do it. But if it's something I feel like is dumb, then nah, I don't let them do it. But if they finna like hurt themselves, like, oh yeah, you can do it. Cause that's the way you learn. I mean, that's they boys. So it's like if I continue to tell these boys to stop doing this or stop doing that, don't jump off the couch, don't tumble on your head, don't do these different things, then it's like I'm raising them to be soft. I'm not really raising my boys to be soft when it comes to this type of world because we don't live in a soft type of world. I get they trying to switch it over to that, but little boys is not meant to be soft.
But I'm
And
not
that's a
trying to have no
learning thing.
hospital visits
I
though.
ain't trying to have no
Like I'm
hospital
not
visits
trying
too.
to like the baby. You got to watch him because he's gonna be the one to fall out the tree. I'm not putting it in the air. I'm not trying to speak it into. My homie's trying to climb trees. That's a no. Don't climb no trees. Cause the day you fall out of one, I'ma die.
Well,
I'ma
I
have a
don't want him
whole
climbing no tree
heart
because
attack.
I can't climb a tree, so I can't come up there and get you.
I can climb a tree.
So-
It's just first of all, I ain't did that in a long time. I'm be hurt, and if I have to do it, then like that's something like it's gonna take me a couple tries. I ain't climbed no tree in decades. That's been a very
Yeah,
long
but your
time.
mama bear instincts are kicking in to where you're gonna climb that tree. No pun intended.
If you make me climb a tree, I'm gonna whoop. I'm gonna whoop you when I get up there. Cause come
So
on.
you should do my reel. Like I told her, like I had a thorough reel for her page with the Terrence Howard DJ talking
take
about.
off against everything that I talk.
I know it does go against what you're talking about, but then now you on here talking about you gonna whoop your kids at the last
If
resort.
you make me,
But still, like the daddy in the background instigating, talking about whoop that trick, talking about the kids. Like I feel like that'd been a funny reel, and I still think it'll be funny because it is like, yeah, the daddy in the background instigating, like, yeah, and that's the song that's playing. Hilarious,
no,
like, yeah, hilarious.
I would keep like I wouldn't do it, but I know like people on my page will eat that up.
So if I do
ratchet
see you
like
do that means that you got that idea from Hunt, and I need I want my credit for that. You feel me? Put Hunt said that, some shit like that. I don't know, but it should have Hunt up in it. You feel me? Hunt Life got it from Hunt Life Podcast or something. But you better shout me out, because if you don't, I'm gonna tag your shit. I'm gonna flag it, fam. I ain't even gonna lie. Don't let me see it. I'm gonna flag
It's always the
it.
ones close to you, boy. I swear.
Why not? I'm gonna pull a Drake. I'm getting your stuff taken down.
Wow.
Man, you got me also wrong. Don't steal my intellectual property and then don't give me my
You
credit.
keep it. Yeah.
I ain't saying you got to give me credit. You fine. You say with me. But by you doing it, that means that you giving me credit. I'm talking about the people that watch this episode. If you do that and you don't say like, yeah, I got that off the Hunt Life Podcast, or at least tag us in the bottom like Hunt Life Podcast.
I do it for it or not, because the weekend is mine. It's when I do my random little reels.
So yeah, if you do that, just tag us. Like that'd be dope. Like do that. Like yeah, I think I'll take that. That's enough gratitude for me. I'll be like, oh yeah, we finally done got something started.
Oh my God. That's what we want to be known for, getting started.
Now, I want to be known for getting a lot of stuff started, but if that's at the beginning, then all right, I'll just take that. It's publicity.
True.
We got to get people to start listening to our stuff. Not like the losers, but we want like the parents and like the couples and the people that's really like handling their business to like pay attention to our stuff. But back on the topic, I mean, wait, off topic again. Well, because we was talking about like we've been watching like all the past episodes, and we like it's like I kind of sort of like the direction we going into this now. I think we starting to look a little bit better instead of just like we gonna ramble.
Clearly.
We got to.
I'm like, clearly that's what's happening.
But like far as in like, you know, like talking, we be talking. We talk better now.
We cleaned it up.
Yeah.
So that way you can listen to it while you're cooking dinner or
That was her. She wanted to do
running
that.
errands. I wanted to do what?
Clean us up a little bit. Step up our image.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to be something that you could just.
No, I click explicit every single time.
Okay. Well.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, back on topic. But like, it's just parenting is hard, bro. Because it was like when Sam was like, what we'll say 3, 4, everybody was like, so what y'all gonna put him in football? And it was like I got tired of answering that question. I got tired of telling everybody no. Like, no, my son's not playing football.
Yeah.
Why would I want my son to play the most dangerous sport?
Yeah.
But that's always been my stand, even from the beginning.
Football, but I think it was the fact that everybody was kind of like not charging us up, but like
no, they was charging us up because we got big kids. It was
hard to be like no and like be like stand on it.
Yeah,
because we not them parents. Like we was like I want him to play. It's a bunch of other sports. Like why he got to only play football? Like it's basketball, baseball, soccer. Like it's a bunch of other sports, tennis, it's other things he could do besides football. And I was always like, I don't want my kid being out there being broke up at a young age. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong if you do, but that's not something
that we felt like we needed
I
to
wanted
for
to
our
do.
kids.
Like, we
yeah.
really like wanted to be different with our kids.
I was main focused on academia. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just want my kids to be smart.
Yeah, he was always
Sports
like
will
that.
come, but it's
Yeah.
like I always just want them to like know their stuff. Like I want y'all to be able to like know your shit.
Yeah.
I don't care about you being good at sports. I want you to be good at knowledge, because that'll get you a long way, especially in this day and life that we live in now. The more you know, the more you can make off of your knowledge.
Yeah. No, like them, like book work, like just them being like intelligent was always a thing for me. Like I was like, I want my kids to be smart, like that, because I feel like everything else will roll
Yeah.
in. But like that's something I was like, I'm never gonna play with, and I don't. But I
Nah, we don't play about that. You're gonna know your education. We don't play so much. We homeschool.
Yeah.
That's how you know we don't
and
play
that
that
was
much
something
about
else that I think expectation wise, like going into parenting, I was on the fence about like homeschooling, because I always wanted to homeschool.
Yeah.
I think just because it wasn't something that's normalized, especially for our culture, it was hard to make that decision and be content and okay with it, because like when I first brought the subject up to everybody, I was like, oh, like when he got old enough to be like, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna put him, because he didn't go to daycare, which was already a thing.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, he needs to be in daycare. It was stupid reasons. And I was like, you know, that don't make no sense. I never believed in like the whole what you call
theory.
it? Yeah, like you put them all like let them get sent. Yeah, like that's crazy to me. So putting him in school and knowing like that was such a different route for like just our culture. Like a lot of people don't understand it. And it's like he ain't gonna grow up sheltered. Everybody else is like he gonna grow up sheltered, and like we gotta let him go off. Like he gonna pretty much raising him to be weird. And it's like, well, no. I always had a different perspective because I knew somebody that was homeschooled.
I didn't have any perspective on homeschool. I got the understanding of homeschooling, but I was like, I was on the borderline. It didn't matter to me. As long as they were smart.
You were just kind of like, you ain't really care either way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it made it harder for me to like really make the decision to say, no, I really want to homeschool my kids, because it was so different, and like everybody shied away from it to a certain extent because it's like normalized, like we put kids in school, girl, like put them in school. Like it's like why? Like I think people feel like we try to be so different with our kids to where it's like almost we was rebellious with our kids.
Yeah, but what you expect because we're rebellious. We are rebellious. We rebelled our own selves. So why you didn't expect us to be rebellious with our kids?
I think just because, but that's the part that's hard when you have expectations as a parent that you want to do, and then getting acceptance from like your so-called support system or your village. That can be hard sometimes, because I always tell people like homeschooling is not something that was just, it's not easy. First of all, it's not easy. It ain't. And then on top of that, it's not something that was just accepted. We haven't really seen it play. I like I said, I knew somebody that was homeschooled when I was a kid. Like high school, I had met somebody that was homeschooled, and I was like, oh, that's dope. Like, and then I started researching and looking into it, because that's what I do. Like I go down rabbit holes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're gonna do some research.
I was like, oh, when I, have my own kids, I want to home. So it was one of my expectations. And I was like, I want to homeschool my kids. But then when the time got here and like getting everybody's reaction, I was like, okay, well, dang, I guess maybe I should just put them in school. And then, we were working,
and then we
trying to make a living, not having the support system. That's another thing too. I think going into having kids, I expected to have a better support system.
Yeah.
And then like to have kids and realize I don't have the support system I thought I would have. Like I knew like my mom wouldn't be involved as much. Like I suspected it. I didn't think she just wouldn't be involved at all. I just thought like she wasn't gonna be like a solid, dependable source all the time. You know what I'm saying? It'd be in and out. But the fact that she's not around at all, and I had to figure out how to be a mom by myself and like figure out this whole motherhood journey, I don't think I ever fully expected that. And then I also thought like we would have a support system.
Yeah.
I really did.
I wanted the support system, but I wanted it on our terms. I didn't want a support system on everybody else's terms because it's our kids.
Yeah.
So I feel like that we should have to say so about the support system and how we want stuff to go along with our kids and how we want things to be done when it comes to our kids, because I watch my mama do it, so I feel like that it shouldn't have been no issue with me doing it too. If I say that I don't want them to do this or I don't want this, that, or the third around them, then I feel like that I should get that same respect. That don't do that. If I don't want my kids eating McDonald's, don't have my kids eating McDonald's. If I don't want my kids hanging around a certain person, then I think that you should respect that because you did that. So you should be able to understand that because you went through it, then you should understand that if somebody else decides to do it.
But I think that's on the outside looking in, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wanted it to be up on my own terms. I don't want it to go by nobody else's terms.
Because we're not, our generation, well, okay, I don't know how everybody else is doing, but for us, again, we didn't raise our kids. Because when you say that, like, you know, you thought it would be more so on your terms, and like if you gave a rule, she pretty much follow it. At the same time, we grew up with parents who dropped us off. So, like, when it comes to like the rules part, it's like realistically thinking about it, how many rules did they really have for us?
Don't answer that though when nobody come over.
That's what I'm saying. Like, realistically, because if you was always at somebody else's house. The weekend came, they, you know what I'm saying? Like, they made sure they got their me time in. Like, we come from that generation of parents who they still live their life, even though no matter how much they be like, it's, you know, it's time for them to live their life now. You was living your life when you was raising us, realistically. It's too many of us have stories of us always being with our cousins or at our granny house or auntie's houses. Come on now. But that's what I'm saying. Like, how many rules realistically did they really, like, for real have set? Like, I don't think it's appropriate for them to, because usually when they told us they don't want us around a certain person, it was another kid. It wasn't necessarily an adult.
True.
We had adults who were like, no, he's not allowed around this adult. And if that can't be abided by, then they just won't come over. Like, that it was that. So our rules were very, very different from what everybody else was used to, because it was more so like people felt like they could just different. That's what I'm saying. They feel like
so
I could just come out, tell you I'm
everybody.
gonna come get them and just have them packed and ready. And we was the parents just like, no.
Yeah, because we was at like,
you have to schedule this. You can't just pop up on us. Like,
we're hands-on parents.
Yeah.
So when it comes to a lot of people, they're not used to they're not used to people being hands-on parents.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest stigma around
I think it would, yeah.
Because we are so too hands-on. Yeah, I would say so hands-on. But we want to be involved with our kids too much to where people couldn't fully understand it, to where it broke the fabric of everything. But it's like,
because it turned into, I'm not gonna explain myself. I raised you, and it's just like, okay, but
yeah, but that doesn't matter. I'm raising my kids, so I raise my kids the way I want to raise my kids. I don't need anybody input on how to raise my kids.
Yeah,
I think that was the hard part for everybody. Is for the simple fact of that we have our own ways that we want to raise our kids.
Yeah.
So could nobody jump on board and be on board with how we want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the sticking up part was hard too, because I didn't expect it to be that much of a fight.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too.
Like, it's just like, dang, like, it's our kid. I didn't think it was this that big of an issue. Like, I knew it would take time to adjust, but I thought everybody would be adult enough to adjust, not just being like, well, that's how y'all gonna play it, and we just out all together. Like, I don't think I expected that, and it was just because going in, I know I wanted to raise my kids to be different, because I come from a lot of trauma. I wanted them to be around a different environment. I come from the hood. I come from a very small town that, like, you know, just nothing. I come from a lot of nothing. Like, I wasn't broke, but I also still came from a lot of nothing. So I wanted my kids to be raised in a different type of environment.
Yeah.
So the expectation, I think, going into that was, I know I was going to be raising my kids to be different, but I don't think I understood the effects of how us raising them to be different was going to affect other people around us. And that's probably why we don't have. Well, no, it's just I don't think I expected to not have a support system,
Yeah, because it's
regardless of the
like
fact. Like I thought we would all be able to come together for the betterment of
the
the
kids.
kids to like make something work.
I knew that I wanted to be a hands-on father because I didn't have hands-on fathers.
Yeah,
I came from a single mother like family, so it's like for a fact I'm gonna raise my kids.
yeah,
Like it's nothing against my father or my stepfather, rest in peace. But it was like I'm gonna do what I gotta do for my kids, and
yeah,
I'm gonna be there for them. So regardless of every single thing, that was always my main focus about with having kids is that I'm gonna be there for them.
yeah,
I'm gonna bathe them. I'm gonna be there to make sure when they go to sleep at night, I ain't missing no games. I ain't missing nothing academic. I'm not missing nothing. The day I realized that I was like, you know what, we homeschooling is in the first grade when we asked them peoples about some shit, and they pretty much told us that we pretty much hold him back so everybody we're taking it slow with him so everybody else can catch up with them,
yeah,
and they couldn't explain to me why you're pretty much telling me that you're gonna stunt my child's growth in school because everybody else kid is not on the same level as him.
yeah.
When they told me that, and they couldn't like, when I asked them that and they was like beating around the bush when it came to that, that made my mind up right then and there, like, yeah, we from the homeschool.
Yeah, I think, like I said, for me, it was always I wanted
Yeah,
to
but that's
homeschool,
what
but it
made
was
me
the
really be on
social
board with you.
acceptable.
Like,
Yeah,
nah, we finna like really, if we gonna really like do this homeschooling stuff, then like let's do it.
yeah,
Cause that right there made my mind up. Like, you can explain to me why y'all want to hold my child back. Not saying that they was gonna keep him in the first grade, meaning that they was gonna slow the stuff down. Cause Santana always been like,
he's a fast
he's a
learner.
fast learner. He was always like with the girls, meaning that if he was reading on the same level as the girls. He knew math, he knew all his different subjects on the same level as the girls instead of the boys. So they wanted to make sure that he was pretty much on path with the boys. And it's like, you're not going to downplay what my son is doing so everybody can, so when everybody catch up, I don't care about other people catching up.
Yeah,
You're not going to stop my child from learning
because he was pretty much
because,
ultimately bored in class because he
yeah,
knew the work.
so he was just doing shit. So it's
Yeah,
like, nah, I don't want him to just be up in here dry doing stuff because that was the same predicament for me.
yeah,
That leads to you just like messing off and not liking school.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't want that situation to happen for him.
Yeah, and like I think I understood that. I think that gave me the ammunition. I feel like if I could have gone back, looking at him in Maddox, because Maddox is technically always homeschooled. He's 4, but he's been doing this since pretty much 1.
One, since
I
since
think
one.
going back and looking at it now, I think I wish I had the courage then to say, like, to stand firm on saying, like, no, I'm going to homeschool him and I don't care who likes it. Just because I feel like it took us through a whole bunch of extra drama that we really didn't need to go through. And then, like, a lot of stuff came out of it. Like, Santana started being very, like, putting him in school made him very, like, self-conscious. It made him very shy. He was very much so in a shell. Kind of gave him a little bit of anxiety being
Yeah.
in school. Like, I just didn't feel like he was ready. But because of age-wise, and everybody was like, well, he got to go. He got to figure it out. He got to learn like y'all did it. Just all the expectations that people have, like, that you're going to do it the exact same way, like, when you were raised. And not have anybody, for me at that time, that was like a support system to say, if this is what you want to do, then do that. Because I didn't have nobody to tell me that. Like, everybody was kind of like, you doing too much, put him in school.
Yeah.
So I felt bullied into doing
I
it
felt
as a
bullied too
parent.
because I already knew about the Rockefeller school system and how I didn't want my kid to be a worker.
Yeah,
I never in my mind envisioned my kids to be workers. I
yeah,
always envisioned my kids to be bosses.
yeah,
You're gonna be your own boss. I'm gonna teach y'all how to do y'all own stuff.
yeah,
So it's like me putting like me pretty much succumbing to what everybody wanted and letting us put our kids in school.
yeah.
And like I know that the Rockefeller school system doesn't support
Yeah.
work. They only support workers. So that was another ultimate, like, all right, I know too much about how the school system is not good for kids.
Yeah.
So why would I constantly keep them in there?
Yeah. So it was just that
And
fear
then the
of doing it.
pandemic just opened up our eyes, and it just showed us for a fact that they really not doing nothing in school.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I was like, man, I'm not gonna have bill money because y'all keep playing my baby in school. Like, I'm because it was getting to that point where it's like, I'm gonna mess around. Somebody gonna go to jail. Like between Mark and the school, like I was like, somebody is gonna go to jail,
Yeah.
and I don't have time for this. I just deal with my own kid.
Because the school
But-
system make it seem like that they want black fathers involved, but they really don't. They really don't want black fathers involved when it comes to the school system. Yeah, they say that everybody is welcome and all parents is welcome, but when you're a black father and you actually involved in your kid's life and you ain't letting them play around with your kid's top, they don't really like that. Especially when you're trying to be really involved and you're trying to figure out why this teacher being lazy, or why this teacher not doing this, or why this teacher not teaching this, or why the principal acting like this. When you on everybody's ass at that schoolhouse, oh, they really don't want you around. So fathers, y'all got to get involved when it comes to the school stuff, because maybe stuff will change a little bit.
It might. I think it was. I think that was just the biggest moment as a parent. I think the COVID taught us how to get a hold over what we wanted as parents, and to really like learn how to shut out the outside noise. Like take the advice when it was given and it needed to be, but also learn how to like shut that off and get to the core. Like, okay, well, what is it that y'all want to do? Like, how is it that y'all want to raise your kids? And it don't have to be a fight like we fight with everyone, because it was like a tug of war for a long time. Santana is 10. COVID happened when Santana was like 6, because that's when Maddox was here. So for 6 years, we had been fighting with family, particularly not necessarily friends, but family for like 6 years. And Santana's been born, it's been a tug of war back and forth. So I think that
then we put them in school. Now we fighting for 3 years with the school.
So it was
It's
just like a lot of
fight.
things trying to like. I don't think going into being a parent, you expect the tug of war with just figuring out how to raise your kid.
Yeah.
Like that's something I just never expected, the tug of war of like wanting and having a vision of how you want to raise your kid, and then having to fight with that with your support system and risking not having it because of how you're trying to raise your kid for your future generations. Because ultimately for me, that's what it is. It's like I'm starting over, because what we've been doing in my family particularly is not working. So I'm trying to do something different with my
so
kids.
we can take our generation to the next level.
Yeah. So I think I think that's the thing for a lot of parents. Like I hear a lot of people say, well, I want to do this, but you know, my mom and like my sister and then well, dad, like is this chaos. And yes, it's a village, but you still have a right to your child. And I think we had to come to a point, especially during COVID, where it's like, no, we still have a right to our kid. Like y'all can't just come in here and tell us how to raise our kid, what we should be doing. Your opinion is not always needed. And how I'm feeding them, how I'm raising them, how I'm disciplining them, like everything was a issue. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, dang, like it's my kid, not yours, and how you raise me, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like we are not perfect. We have our own traumas, and guess who contributed to those traumas? Like, so it was like to have to fight for 6 long years on just how we wanted to raise our child, and from the things, like I said, from how you want to feed them to like how you want to school them to how you want to discipline them. Everybody feels like they have an opinion to be given, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just like a respect. That's how they want to do it.
Then you put your kids in the school systems, and then now the school want to act like they the kids' parents, and stuff like that. Like, see, that was the thing that snapped me with this whole school stuff, because nah, if I tell my kid to come here, he gonna come here. I'm listening to what y'all saying, and like I go through the whole situation. But after I see that you sitting over here dragging ass, now, all right, come on, bro, let's go. We're not finna sit here like you, and you're not finna tell my kid to come back like you overstump what we say. The school system does that a lot. They want to make it seem like the parent don't really have a lot of say so in what's going on, but it's like, if you don't get anything else out of this when it comes to parenting, you have the final say so with your kids.
Yeah, with everybody. But you
over
gotta
everybody,
be,
but you got to be stern upon it. You feel me?
yeah.
Like you got to be the chief in that village. There's only one chief, unless y'all
And it's
married.
okay to have a vision of how you foresee raising your kids. It's okay. I think that it's not said enough, and everybody, like I said, like for a lot of things, I felt bullied into, especially being a mom that didn't have a mom, and then being a mom that just kind of wanted to appease everybody and make everybody feel like I was doing the right thing as a mother, because I felt like I had to prove myself as a mother,
Yeah.
like that I wasn't going to just be like, you know, a mom that just went with what everybody wanted me to do, and like that I was going to actually take care of my kids. And I felt like I had an X on my back a little bit because of how I was raised, and because I come from a traumatic background. Like I felt I had a lot to prove, and I don't think going into motherhood I fully thought that through. I don't think I fully expected to um I think the sacrifices that you really have to make for your kids,
Yeah.
to just say, like I said, like a lot of that is sacrificing my career, to say, like, he was in kindergarten, and I was like, I'm not being as involved as a mother as I want to be, because I have to be at this job, and then school is doing stuff, he's doing stuff, he wants me there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't be everywhere at once, and then like having to fight with my job and say, well, okay, well my kid has this program in the middle of the day, I need to be there. Can I take her? Like it just started to be too much, and I don't think people tell you like how that balance works when you're trying to work and still be an involved parent with your kid, because a lot of jobs, especially career fields, are not as sympathetic to mothers or parenting in
They're not
general
sympathetic to
at
parents.
like as they need to be for us to really be raising kids. Like kids need a lot of time and attention, and the way the job field has worked out and panned out for everybody, they've drawn it to where somebody else realistically has to be raising your kid while you're at work,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what the school is for. The school is raising the kids, and then after that we put them in daycare and sports. And so realistically, the amount of time you're getting as a parent might not be what you think, and it's okay to admit like you may not be as involved as you are, but then figure out what's your solution to that, and understanding that sacrifice. And I think that's something that I had to, my expectation of who I wanted to be as a mother, and aligning that and understanding the pull to make myself what I wanted to be. Like I said, like all my expectations is not what I thought before having kids, but I'm on track with the mother that I foresaw myself being,
True. Because fellas, did you know that you can get maternity leave too?
Yeah.
You just got to ask your employees and stuff like that. But you can actually get paternity leave too. I didn't know that when I was doing that, but you actually can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's no reason for you to have to miss the birth of your child or have to go back to work directly right after you have your child, because they have laws that's in effect that you can actually be there for your kids and they can still pay you for that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tell you that because they don't want you to know that. But I'm gonna be the dude that gonna tell y'all that like
fill out that
you
FMLA
can fill that stuff
paperwork
out, and you can actually don't have to go to work for at least 2 weeks to be able to be there with the mother and be there with your child the first couple of weeks that they first being born.
Yeah.
Like don't let these jobs sit there and tell you that you can't go see your child or you can't get off of work early because you need to go be there for the birth of your kids. Because I went through that and I had to run. I literally was running downtown, like trying to get to the medical center, like trying to get there so I can make sure I'm there for my son being born.
That was another thing. I don't think I thought my births was gonna be as I don't want to say traumatic, but as like chaotic as they were, because we had Mattis during COVID.
Yeah.
So I was by myself, and then Santana, baby, I was just stressed out in the hospital.
You weren't by yourself. I was there.
What?
For Maddox.
I know. I'm saying like, well, when you couldn't be, like, I couldn't have any other visitors because it was COVID. So
yeah, that was
there,
wild.
Nobody else was there, but you were there for that one. And then for Santana, you had to leave and come back, and then that was just a whole chaotic mess. Like I was more stressed out trying to deliver You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to 50,000 people through a phone line trying to push out a baby, and then it was chaotic.
But my partner was there up in the waiting room though for me. Like
Facts.
he was there in the waiting room for me for my firstborn. He was
Yeah.
there. Like he can't get off of work at this moment, but I'm gonna be there for y'all. Like, yeah, him and his girlfriend, his fiance, like, yeah, they was there.
Yeah.
But like the parenting is tough. I get it.
It's
It's very
hard.
tough. It's a hard job. It's the ultimate sacrifice that you gotta take when it comes to like being an adult. But if you really like focus in and take that sacrifice and like really do it the way that you're supposed to do it, you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Meaning that you don't have a kid that's in prison or he not like a Jeffrey Dahmer or anything like that. Like if you really like do what you need to do, you won't raise a SS, a school shooter.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like I
You want to
mean,
raise a decent human being.
yeah,
Like
that's
that
what I'm
takes
trying to say.
time and it
Yeah.
takes patience, but it takes time,
Mhm.
y'all. It really do. But have some like people feel like it's no expectations of parents, or you have expectations, but like I said, you might be afraid to voice the expectations. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you have understand, like you have a right to your kid. Like, and you literally have a right to do whatever you want to do with your kid.
And
It's
enjoy
your
them
kid.
first couple of years,
Man,
man.
that's so fast.
Enjoy them toddler years
I
and
remember
stuff
somebody
like
told us
that.
that with Santana, we had just had Santana, like we was in the store and somebody was like, and like that's the realest advice I feel like I have
Enjoy this
ever
time because they
got.
only gonna be kids for a little bit.
Yes, and I think I've been holding on to that like ever since. Like
Because they grow.
enjoy
He
them
was
while
like
they're
they grow
small.
up in the blink of an eye, and
And
it's
I
not a
feel like
lie. They
yeah.
do. But the most important years, I feel like, between the ages of 5 to 12, because that's when you actually like creating a human being. You already you're shaping a human being. You're shaping the type of kid or the type of adult that you want your kid to be.
Yeah.
From the teenage years, you just like molding them. You just, I mean, that's not molding part. You just like reassuring the stuff that the groundwork that you laid.
Yeah.
But you gotta lay the foundation between them 5 to 10, the 5 to 12.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get them at them ages, you're gonna lose them.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta get them at them young ages and get them to understand what's going on and the way that they're supposed to be. Because if you do it at the right time but you make sure that you keep that good balance between being a cool parent and being a strict parent.
Yeah.
Don't be your kid's friend.
Mm-mm.
Your kids don't need another friend. They're gonna make friends.
Yeah.
They need a parent.
They need a parent.
So be your kid's parent, but also be the parent
them
to where you can be so your kids can come to you. Y'all, we as the millennials, we wanted to talk to our parents about certain stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So this is your turn to like make sure you do it the right way so you can be the parent that they actually talk to.
Yeah.
Because I know you rather give your son the birds, you rather give your kids the birds and the bees talk than have some little kid give your kid the birds and the bees talk.
Listen, the way these little heifers set up these days, baby, I'm gonna tell mine everything he needs to know because you ain't gonna get no sucker. Okay, I want
we ain't raising no simps around here.
I'm not gonna be scared to talk to my son about certain situations because I have to, and I'd rather him get it from me than him go and find out the wrong way or get it from the wrong source.
We wasn't no teenage parents, and I damn sure ain't raising no teenage kids. I ain't raising no kids to be no teenage parent.
Yeah, so just have a line between like discipline. Like understand discipline is healthy. Like you cannot raise your kids without some form of discipline.
Yep.
So you have you just have to be able to. And discipline is still hard for me. I hate disciplining my kids. Like my kids make me have to really like put my foot down. I feel so bad. But I'd rather feel bad now than to have you run around here thinking that you don't have to listen to authority or you end up somewhere that you shouldn't be. Like I'm just not having my kids be in jail or end up dead at an early age because
Tupac
I didn't teach
it
you
was
the
hell.
discipline.
Hugging on my mama through a jail cell.
Like I'm not having like I'm going to teach you discipline. Like I'm going to teach you because I love you enough to correct you.
Yep.
So just like God loves you to correct you and he disciplines the ones that he loves, I'm gonna love you enough to correct you and tell you, because if I can't tell you, who is? Other people's not gonna have the same patience. They're not gonna have the same kindness and love and consideration for you like I have. So I'd rather be the one to tell you like you're not doing this right versus have you go out into in the world and let them experience you like that, and then something happens. No, like I'm going to correct. And I tell my kids that all the time. Like I'm going to correct you because I love you that much. It has nothing to do with my feelings, because I don't like disciplining my kids has to be the least favorite part of parenting.
Yeah.
But I know it's the most crucial because Santana is 10. So it's getting, we almost there,
Yeah.
but it's that trial and error part, because he's trying stuff and you got to let them know like what you're gonna get away with. Like it's not like when they 2 and they tell a lie, like he tell a lie at 6, 7, 8. No, it needs to be more, the consequence needs to be more
Age appropriate.
Yeah, because now you need to let him know like, no, that's really not appropriate, and we're not raising you to do that, and that's not how we want you operating in society. Because if he do it at home, he gonna do it somewhere else.
Yep.
Like he has, like you're building his fundamentals, because that's what's gonna see them through the rest of their life, is the fundamentals that you're giving them, who their character are as a person. So you want, like, I'm building his character right now. Even Mattis, like he's 4, so now I'm starting to like build his. Like I said, Mattis is baby, he different. He built different because he'll shoot you first and ask questions later. And now I'm trying to get him out of like just calm down. Take 2 seconds. Just breathe. Breathe through it. Like he's that one. So I'm having to like, all right, like let's
talk him through his
this.
emotions, and let's tame this so he can be able to put that into a positive aspect instead of being a hothead and get himself into some shit that he don't need to get into.
Yeah, and then boys is very emotional. I don't think I expected that. When I heard I was having boys, I was like, yeah, I had to deal with the emotional stuff like girls. Man, boys is emotional. They don't tell you that. Boys are hella emotional, and teaching them how to navigate their emotions is totally different.
Because all the testosterone, that's what makes them so emotional. The testosterone levels, like when you're a kid, like especially like little boys, like their testosterone levels are extremely high. So that be the main thing that's trying to control that, because you can't really control the testosterone, and I think that's kind of sort of where they kind of fumble the ball at in the school systems, because they want little boys to like sit still and not do this and do that, but they can't. That's not a little boys don't do that. They got so much testosterone in them, they just want to do something.
They just do stuff. They be like, oh my God. And
that's why they start stinking at such an early age, because of the testosterone. It's so much built up testosterone. You got to do stuff with them to get it to like balance it off, but make sure that you get a control on their emotions.
Yeah, like Santana be puffed up. I mean, just big mad, and then you be like, what? And then now he broke down. Now he just, and you be like, now what happened? It was 2 seconds, and all I asked you to do was tell me how you feel. And baby, he just a puddle of emotions. I'm like, oh, that's definitely, I didn't expect that being a boy mom. Did not.
More of the story, they're your kids, and you got to raise them the way that you want to raise them. Because if you don't, somebody else will.
Yeah.
And you probably won't like the way that they raise your child. So you got to get a hold on to that yourself.
It's going to show.
Yep.
They going to hit them teenage years and them adult years, and it's you going to see the kind of parent, what kind of parent you really were. You can be delusional if you want to, but stand on what you want to stand on as a parent. Because it ain't about you, it's about your kids. So it's not about appeasing everybody else.
It's about the kids. So, you got a rant this week?
I do, but y'all.
You got multiple rants. Because she just got back on TikTok. She just like, say hello to Kiki, y'all. She just welcomed herself back into the world. Because she's been on a social media detox for the past 3 weeks.
I have.
So, like, she missed the whole entire Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. I had to clue her in on everything. But like, yeah, she missed that. She misses man or bear. She missed a lot of different things, but she just got like on the Fifth Element when they woke up old girl, and she had to go through a whole like everything that's been going on. That's what she did in like one day. So like, she's shell shocked at this moment.
I'm not shell shocked. I just think this, I just wish social media go away. Like I really do. Like it's not helping society. And
TikTok
with
damn near getting
reason,
banned in 200 and some days.
don't say
Well, they
that.
not because TikTok just sued America back, so now they got to go to court. So it's gonna
But it's
prolong
just,
it.
but it's not helping. It's dividing us more. Kids are taking social media too seriously. Ask your kid what they want to be. I guarantee you, it's an influencer or a gamer. That's unhealthy.
Yeah.
How much time is your kid spending on YouTube? We've had to check YouTube lately and found out the levels is way too high for him to be sitting. Like we've had to go down, and we monitor that stuff regularly. So the fact that I had to go back and reassess, it says a lot. And like social media has been so much. I had to take the detox because social media is just toxic. Sometimes I think everybody should take a detox from social media sometimes. Because like I just been posting and moving on. If I didn't have to live on there because of work, I would have really been off. But I post and I was getting off because it just got to be too much. People was fighting over bears and men, which was the crazy part is you talking about you rather die than to be stuck with a man, and it's like half of y'all ain't got one now anyhow. So like I'm confused about that logic. And then it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Do you need to call 988, 911? Do you need a welfare check? Because at no point in life ever are you supposed to choose death over anything. So now I'm thinking there's something going on with you mentally. Like I'm just saying, it's too much that's on social media, and I kind of wish it go away. And then I just saw something. I don't even.
She's still trying to process it.
I literally before we started to record, I saw something and it made me sad, and then it made me mad because as mothers, Amora Lex, she had her she gave her kid up for she gave her kids, I'm sorry, I think she has 3 kids. She gave them up to CPS. And she didn't have any help. It's multiple things that I see wrong. One, you continually made bad decisions. I think she said she had her first child at 15. You have 2 other kids. So one, you didn't learn a lesson. 2, you said like none of the baby fathers are involved. One is this unalived. And
As they like to say on YouTube.
yeah. So I'm trying to get the lingo down, y'all. And so you called them to tell them like, hey, you need to get the kids. I don't want them anymore. And here's the thing with it. At some point, when, like I said before, you have to be used to sacrificing as a parent. That is part of your job when you decide to have kids. It's not the kid's fault that you can't go and live your so-called life. What is life? I think a lot of us as adults need to get a handle on what life really is. Because a lot of us base our life off of going out to look like we're somebody to a bunch of nobodies who don't care about us anyway. Just to look like you have money to spend and you're doing absolutely nothing with it.
How you got money to spend during a recession?
Yeah, that's a whole listen. And then and just to post it on social media and feel like you're accepted. People are not dealing with their trauma before they have kids, and then you pass on not only your trauma, but now you're passing on more trauma to them that you can't help them out of. Like you can't tell a child that you're dropping them off to CPS and it's not their fault, as if that's going to take away their abandonment issue. As a mother, I'm not judging you as a mother because this goes back to why grandparents do need to be involved. It do take a village, and I'm saying that from a person who does not have a village. I'm saying that as a person who don't have grandparents involved in my kid's life. I'm saying that as a parent who don't have grandmothers or a mother to show her how to be a mother. So when she says she's overwhelmed and this is hard and she's doing this by herself, I wholeheartedly empathize with that because girl, me too. Like the only difference between me and you is I chose a better father for my kids. We all had the same choices, baby. You chose what you chose. So there's consequences. All kids are a blessing, true enough, but sometimes there are consequences. And now you have to deal with the consequences of your actions, and that might be giving up things that you were not ready to give up just yet. But because you decided to not take your body seriously, parenting seriously, birth control seriously, like you laying down with somebody seriously. Everybody's against marriage, but I don't see anybody being against having children out of wedlock. Like you can do and feel how you want to about marriage, but why keep having kids out of wedlock? And then I have a problem with single mothers because y'all keep glorifying it. Y'all keep glorifying the single mother struggle
And they
when
had
y'all
the
should
nerve to
be
give her
telling
an interview
people,
like somebody care about what she got to say.
yeah, so now she's finna blow up for giving. And then you have people online, well, we shouldn't judge her. No, at some point there should be judgment because you knew what you were doing. You didn't stop after one kid. You didn't stop after you tried the second baby daddy and he was wrong too. You didn't say I'm done. Like I'm trying to figure out when and how do y'all have time to worry, but and then you currently messing with somebody else. How do you have time to hold a whole relationship with a whole man? But you have 3 kids and trying to get through school, so you say you're trying to chase your dreams, so you say you're trying to live your life, but you got time for men. Men take up time. They take up space. At some point, you got to be able to put your kids first because they're children. And if you're not guiding them and you're not loving them and you're not caring for them, nobody is. They don't have protection. So I'm not going to sit online and protect a grown-ass woman who made a grown decision out of pure emotions, and because her baby daddy's not doing it, she feel like she don't have a right. Well, that is the consequences of your actions, sweetheart. Like that's what that's called. And then you have the audacity to put it online. So now I'm questioning your motives. I'm not going to be on here giving you sympathy because it's enough sympathy given to the single mother struggle. I'm tired of the single mother struggle. Y'all should be on here telling people that this is not okay to be a single mother and they need to be choosing wisely. You can't keep talking about the men when you keep opening your legs. You're not controlling the birth rate. You're not controlling who you procreate with.
Damn, that word probably went over their head. I'm just saying. It probably did. Procreate, like
You
procreate.
have that right. Like I said, like you have a right to your family. You have a right to how you envision your family being. I'm not saying that everything is always going to go according to plan. However, some things and a lot of things we see signs of. If you say you never really pictured yourself being with this person, why would you decide to have a baby with them? If you knew it was no way in absolute hell you was ever going to marry them, why did you feel like it was okay to give them a whole living human being? And we can't keep chalking it up to, well, I made a bad choice. How many more bad choices are you going to make to keep messing up your life? And now you have a kid involved. So now you're not just messing up your life, you're messing up theirs too. But when you get in your 30s and your 40s, you're going to want everybody to stop talking about it. But now this kid is coming up and has to deal with all the trauma that you done drugged them to. But now it's not a big deal because you feel like you're in a better place, as us women like to say. I'm in a better place. I'm healed now. No, you should be doing your healing before you have kids. And coming from a person who's dealt with a whole bunch of fucking trauma, you should be dealing with your trauma before you have kids, or even when you decide you're gonna have a child. You need to start that journey because it just doesn't pop up like you just done it in the next couple months. It's not how that works. By the time that child gets of age to really understand and recognize what's happening, you need to have your stuff somewhat together. You need to be able to pull it together. That does not mean you're perfect. That does not mean you're done healing, but it means that you have it under control enough to where you're not passing as much trauma down to your kid. You're stopping it where it is because you can at least identify it. But to constantly pass trauma down to kids that didn't ask to be here and didn't ask for your crap is ridiculous. And then y'all putting that online and y'all glorifying like it's okay to be a single mother. And well, why don't nobody ever talk to the men? We can't talk to a man when you keep opening up your legs. We can't talk to a man when you don't care enough about your body. So who you sleep with because you don't have enough self-control. What are we supposed to say to the men? Like that is in their nature and that is what they do. Is it right that they don't stay? No, I'm not saying that, but a lot of y'all are having kids by men that y'all knew didn't want kids in the first place. That's a consequence. If that man told you he was not ready for kids and y'all weren't even seriously dating, and you pop up pregnant, how can you realistically expect him to stay in something that he never even thought y'all was gonna be a thing? I can't talk to the men when you won't control who you lay with. That is a you thing. How, like, that's telling a man not to be a man. They're gonna try. You have to have enough self-control about yourself to say no. I don't care what lies he done told you. I don't care how many bags he done bought. I don't care how many dinners he done took you on. I don't care what fantasy he's stirring up in your mind. If we have the intuition, then use it. That is what I'm saying. Like, we can't keep running around here blaming men for your bad decisions because you didn't use no discernment, sis. Or he told me he was gonna be together forever, but you knew he was a drug dealer in and out of jail. How? You knew y'all wasn't even seriously dating. You had 10 other niggas in your phone, so you never really planned on being with him like that in the first place, but you decided to give him a baby. You was out here still trying to figure out your life, but you decided to lay down with somebody, not use protection, because then what are y'all, everybody running around here popping up with kids, like, what are y'all really doing? Like, y'all are being sperm bags. Like, y'all,
Cum buckets.
that's nasty. Like, everybody shouldn't have access to you like that, to where you just out here. We don't live in an age where it's like, oops, I'm pregnant anymore. It's too much out here to prevent you from that. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's go back to keeping it classy. Like, y'all wonder why there's no respect level. That's ridiculous. And now we finna boost this girl up. She finna get her little 5 minutes of fame for doing something unimaginable right on the cusp of Mother's Day. She gave up her kids on Mother's Day. And it's so much wrong with this picture. It's grandparents not stepping up and helping, because we do need y'all help. But because y'all don't agree with how we're choosing to raise kids, or you can't get your way, you acting like a toddler, y'all just don't want to be involved because y'all out here trying to chase a life that you don't even have no more. Y'all 20 years from pushing a grave, let's be honest. Like, and you don't care about having a relationship with your grandkids, but you gonna want somebody to be there and care and hold you when you get older and take care of you. But you didn't do the same. It does take a village. And maybe if she had that, but we don't know, she could have burnt that bridge. We don't know. But the thing is, like, make sure you understand the consequences of having kids. Are just not dolls. They're real human beings who's gonna have real reactions to stuff, and they can't process that right now. A lot of that stuff won't get processed until they hit adulthood. Now they gotta go back and do 18 years worth of work that you screwed them up in, and now you don't feel like dealing with it because you're in a better place. It's not okay. It's not okay.
My turn. Cause I'm on y'all ass. So what we'll say last week, the week before, y'all hoes was out here picking the bear. Cause y'all talking about men ain't shit.
304.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Man, we at the end of the podcast now, but
Okay.
y'all out here picking the bear cause men ain't shit. But now this week, y'all trying to protect this old weird ass teacher. I here got this little girls over here braiding their hair.
Baby.
So which one is it? Is it men ain't shit, or are we only protecting certain dudes that we want to protect? Because I'm glad he got fired. He should have been fired. I wish they would have actually had some real fathers in their life, so them fathers can go up there and put them hands up on them. Because I don't believe. I honestly, if I would have had a daughter and she was in that class, I'd have been going to jail. Because trust and believe, me and the old buddy dude would have to catch around. Because you're not going to have my daughter up here taking out your hair, untwisting your hair, unbraiding your hair and stuff like that. Like, nigga, if you want some female to do your unbraid your hair, get you a bitch. Like, I'm confused. When is it supposed to be that we got little girls playing in our head? You're supposed to be a grown-ass man, and you got a little girl playing in your head. That ain't your daughter. So that's some wild. That, like, logically, that don't even make sense to me. Or any supposed to be real father out here. You ain't no real father if you cool with a grown man letting your daughter playing his hair.
Yeah, because my daddy, listen, my daddy
Like-
don't lead with violence, but that he was not having.
Like that's some out of line
Like-
stuff. And it's like y'all over here talking about this is the culture and stuff like that. That ain't the
Thing is
culture.
not the part of the culture. Where that
Like,
come
man,
from?
like that
That's
ain't the
getting on my
culture. That man
nerves.
deserves to be fired. I'm
Yeah.
glad he got fired. They ought to fire him. They ought to do every single thing, and I hope he don't never get another job teaching, because he don't
'Cause
deserve
now
to be
it's starting
around
look weird.
kids.
Yeah. Now it's starting to
Like
seem
the kids, the
strange.
little girls got your social media and stuff. You all online crying, talking about this and all that. Like, bro, like grow up, man up, nigga. Like you got little girls playing in your head. Like, in all honesty, like logically think about that. A grown man got little girls unbraiding his hair in class, and at the beginning of the thing, he say, "I'm finna stir the pot." Now, if these fathers would have told you they finna put you in the pot, the fathers is wrong for getting on his ass about that. Nah, anything that happened to him from a father, he deserved that. Cause you out here playing with these little girls,
Yes.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that, fam. They already look at us like we predators. I mean, black men. White men, too. They look at all men like we predators. They literally just picked a bear over us last week. And what he do this week? He proved them right. That's why they picking bears over niggas. I mean, over dudes. Because y'all doing weird stuff like this. It just, they too cuckoo to understand that that's some weirdo shit. Like, that's weird, bro. Like, that's weird. Like, and all in all, like, that's weird, bro. Like, you got little girls over here playing in your head. I'm gonna say it again. You got little girls playing in your head, and you online crying because you can't have little girls playing in your head. Logically, that makes no
You was
sense.
showing how they're defending you, which psychologically they're supposed to, because they're not mentally there to where they understand
Psychologically,
the-
ain't no little girl supposed to be defending no grown man unless that's his or daddy. Period. As y'all women like to say, no little girl should be defending no grown man that's not her father or her grandfather or her uncle. Some stuff like that. Like, that's a teacher. In all, like, no little girl should be defending no male teacher about not being able to play in his head.
It's looking weird.
It's been weird. Like, you a grown man got little girls playing in your head. And I done said that about 10 times because I want y'all to psychologically think about that. I don't care what he put that out for the intentions of, because in my mind, no little girl's supposed to be playing in no grown man's head, you feel me? But with that being said, no little girl should be playing with him in a man's head. But nah,
That was
I'm hunt.
inappropriate.
Was it?
That was
Like,
just when I found out about it. I was just like, baby, that's inappropriate during instructional time. Like, I'm sitting here like, I don't care about intentions. That was instructional time that you was taking away to have these little girls in your head. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Like, this is what y'all doing in the school system.
mhm.
Hmm.
That's wild. But with that being said, I'm Hunt.
I'm Kiki.
This is the Hunt Life Podcast. Hunt Life.
Live dreams. Bye, y'all.
What's good, people? Before y'all leave, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Oh, and follow us at
Hunt Life the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button. You can also find me at I'm the Key on Instagram, and you can follow us on Hunt Life Code on Instagram and TikTok.
And you can find me on Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everywhere. Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everything, and also Hunt Files. And don't forget, if you got any comments or any statements or anything that you want to leave us, you can always find us up on Instagram and Hunt Life the podcast. Have a great day, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Hunt Life, live dreams.